Welcome to Comment Cocktails. I'm your host, Derrick Schommer. That's Ian Andrews, and we're reviewing the Siempre Tequila.
Cannot roll my R's for the life of me. I don't know how you do it.
Like this.
Only certain people can do that.
Yeah, it's a genetic trait.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, 2,000, 3,000 years from now, everybody will be able to roll their tongue because we're more better than everybody else. Tongue rollers unite!
Whatever, man.
I'll
just call it Siempre.
That's what a lot of the folks that speak Spanish would do if they can't roll their
Including the
R's.
pronunciation we found online.
Yep.
2 seconds ago.
Siempre. Siempre. Anyway, so this tequila was submitted to us by the folks at Siempre who most recently quit their jobs in order to bottle tequila.
There's a kinship there that you must feel.
And now we did the same thing. So not all
you did.
He just keeps working. Which is probably smart.
I just keep showing up to drink.
But one of the cool factor around that is that people actually just jump in, they create their own product, and you have to respect it. On top of that, they've referenced the show, they've watched our reviews, and there's multiple things within the initial email that makes it sound like it's not the cookie cutter. I get these a lot. Like, I love your videos. Can you review my product? Like, you just know I do videos because you went to my website.
Right.
But then there's people who go, I really liked how you did this. Or when the Rumson's folks were here and they call out specific things that happened.
Yeah,
and they're like, okay.
Actually mentioning
paying attention.
Small comments we made.
Yeah. If you're a brand and you want to be on the show first and you don't want to pay to be there first, pay attention to what we do.
Yes.
Let's drink!
Yeah. The smell first.
Okay, well, we can start with that.
It's
if you want to be all like...
Salty agave smelling.
Salty agave. So the nom on here, if you guys want to look up the nom database...
1438.
He's already got it. 1438. CRT, so it's regulated by the state, which makes sense because it is a tequila, and it's got to be a big pain in the nuts to make a product. That's it. That's end of story. That's not easy. Whoa, that smells really inviting.
Like salty and agave?
Yeah. But, like, you know the issue...
But I feel bad putting this in a margarita.
No, because I very rarely, not very rarely, but on an occasion, I will find a Blanco that has that great aroma to it.
Yeah, but normally they tend to be a little bit more cut back. But then enough.
Oh, yeah.
Ian really wants to talk about it.
Yeah. It's really good, huh? It's like there's a sweetness and a bite to it, and it's like halfway in the palate, there's like a little sharpness to it.
Yep, I'm getting that right now.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a little bit of burn. As there should be in a Blanco. So, the age, if you've watched my video...
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember to do this, but because I don't always review my whole video all the way through, but I'm going to try and put a card up there. But if you've watched the video I recently did on tequila aging, you'll know this is probably aged no more than 4 months in steel casks. It's nice and clear. What you'll also learn from my video on alcohol and having massive hangovers is if you have a clear spirit that doesn't have a lot of, or has some filtration, it tends to have less conjugars, and therefore you get less headache, especially when it's refined and awesome, as opposed to, say, a gold that's mixed stowed, and they just throw sugars in there to kind of curb off the fact that it has a shitty-ass alcohol in it.
So it goes without saying, this is 100% agave old tequila. Yeah. It says it right on the bottle.
Does it? Oh, yeah. Small wording. That's funny. Yeah. I would have thought they would have put more emphasis on that, but today's world is a little different. Mostly everything is 100%.
Yes, I think the market has changed enough. So
Thank you.
Thank God.
Oh
my God.
So this, to me, almost has some of the maturity of a reposado,
but without the oakiness.
Yeah, and it has that. Yeah, there's no like vanilla oaky or any of that, but and it's not as curbed down, so you get some of that aggressive bite. You get for margarita.
You get a lot of flavor in this. Mm-hmm. It's good for margarita, but I'd feel bad putting it in a margarita unless it's a really good.
I would do it all day. Yeah. That's all. I mean, because
this is a good
because I don't make a bad margarita.
Oh, okay.
If you make a good margarita, like. I think I do 2 ounces of tequila to like 3/4 ounce of agave nectar, 3/4 ounce of lime.
That's a triple sec.
Yeah, a little bit, and like I don't know, 1/2 ounce of triple sec, whatever, something. Triple sec optional at that point. I mean, you could take this and if you put this into
it's a tequila deck.
Into a glass like this, right? If you filled that up most of the way and squeeze some lime in there,
that's gonna be
done.
Really good.
It's like a dirty martini style tequila spin on it.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, instead of olives, we're gonna use lime. Boom! And it keeps all the flavor through there.
Pop.
Or you take this, put it in there in a chilled glass, and you're done!
And you just drink it.
Yeah.
Maybe with a little bit of water.
Yeah, that never hurts anything. And for those that wonder, yes, water does. I may should make a video on that. Water does bring out some of the aroma.
Just to give you ideas. That's all I do.
Yeah, that's all we do. Brings out some of the aroma and flavor. You don't have to go crazy with it, but it breaks up it gets the aromas out because they're stuck.
There's some chemical stuff going on there with the aromatics and the oils and stuff.
Yes, it's because the aroma has. Let me see if I can remember. Carbon, is it carbon? Aroma's tied to carbon. Hydrogen on the outside. Water comes in. Hydrogen bonds rip carbon or aroma.
That's dirty like
pop up and whoosh, they rip it up. Up comes the.
That sounds like another great video to do.
It is. It's just. I'm always afraid of doing that one because like
You're not a chemist.
Yeah, and if you don't use the right chemist words,
right.
I try and keep it common. For two reasons, I don't know the right chemist words, but even if I learn them, I still don't want to echo them because I don't feel like people understand.
Next time Dr. Plummer's up in the area, I bring him by.
He knows chemistry.
He has his doctorate in synthetic ochem, so that's right up his alley. He's this tall though, so something will have to work.
Just raise the camera up. I'll be about here. But no, that's what it really takes. I would rather have for that somebody who can speak intelligently, where they're like, this guy's just blowing smoke. No, I know what I'm talking about. I just don't know how to get it out of my brain.
Yeah, maybe
I know it freaking works.
I'll send him a text and see if he can explain it to me.
Yeah, you explain this. We just figure it out and then get that out to you. But the end result is water makes this taste a little bit better, and it's not to say it doesn't taste good originally, but it brings out an additional aroma, additional flavor. And for those that have a hard time tasting specific things because you haven't done it a lot, and a lot of this time it just takes doing, practice, it gives you a little bit of a lead.
Curbs the burn a little bit too. If you don't like that hard alcohol burn, like when you're tasting stuff, the water will help curb that a little bit, so you can actually enjoy it a little bit more.
Room temperature water. You could curb the burn by using chilled ice. You could curb it by putting it in the freezer. That curbs everything. That defeats the purpose. Don't put this type of thing in the freezer. You're gonna lose half of the work that they put into it.
And it's the cold. The cold doesn't engage your taste buds as well as warm liquids.
Right.
Yeah.
Question of the day.
Question of the day.
What's your favorite and least favorite alcohol?
What's your favorite and least favorite? Question of the day. What's your favorite and least favorite? I'm going to start with Campari and rum. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know you.
I'm thinking. I used to be tequila years ago.
It'd be rum is your favorite. Campari is your least favorite.
Yeah. 8 years ago it was tequila, and then I'd say tequila Campari. Now I say rum Campari. There's nothing wrong with tequila. I've kind of hit the thing where I kind of understand it and I can enjoy all the tequilas I've ever had.
Right.
And I would love for people to keep sending me more tequila because it's always fun. Unlike more vodkas, which kind of.
No, they need to send us rum.
I like
Nobody
gin.
ever sends us rum.
Gin and Benedictine I like, and I could probably do without vodka.
You could do without vodka.
Yeah.
So, but you don't really have a lot of. You know what it is?
I mean, we had
your taste sensations. You like creativity and flavors. Which vodka does the opposite of.
It does, yeah. And herbals like Benedictine and gin.
You always get
they
flavor.
do that. You always get the flavors.
What was your favorite?
Gin.
Gin and like Benedictine, like herbals. I'll say herbals in general, even though
you guys got to create a Benedictine flavored tequila.
I wouldn't put like Campari and Fernet in that same category as herbals. I mean, they're herbals, but not in the same category as like.
They're more like an Amaro bitter type.
Yeah. They're a bitter.
They're like
bitter.
Be a little bit different.
I mean, how do you say favorite, least favorite?
Because they did whoever it was.
Amaretto's good. I don't know.
But
put it in a glass, I'll drink it. It's a problem.
This is
But at least you recognize it.
I'm 100% certain, and maybe we'll have to revisit this when I get more Blancos, but I'm 100% certain that this would be pushed up in a blind tasting in our house. If I was to do a line and say,
I would hope
push
so.
up the ones, because you don't have to look at the label. I don't have to know that these folks have watched our show. I don't need to know the struggle of creating a new brand to taste this and go, this is fantastic because it's a Blanco that's not overly aggressive, yet it has both a nose and a taste.
Flavor, yeah.
I've had ones that have no nose, and you taste them and they're like, this is beautiful.
Right.
Where did
lost.
that? I wouldn't have known. The presentation's missing. That's like having the best singer in the world, and they dress up with their hair over their head, and you have no idea what it looks like.
I have to pour more in because Jen's going to want to try this.
This is true. Jennifer will have it. I would suggest for these folks, and if they're new to it, you won't see a reposado for a while, and you won't see an anejo for a while after that, because it's going to take, you're going to take your months to be able to rest them. But I wouldn't be surprised to see those coming next. I would really love to see what these guys could do with a mezcal.
There's a nice sweetness in there.
Yeah, if they can make that type of flavor in a mezcal, would be nice too. Get a little bit of smoky thing.
Smoke it.
Yeah.
Smoke it out.
But I don't know how that works
Smoke it out.
for branding, if people can, if they do both tequilas and mezcals, or they just branch out into tequila.
Plus, depends where.
It's usually made from different agave.
Yeah. Plus, where are they getting their stuff? Where are they making the stuff?
Right.
What,
Are
they in a mezcal producing state?
I put something on my bucket list this week. They have mezcal tours.
Oh,
Where
nice.
you go to all the villages in the Mexico that do the different mezcals. You get to see all of the different states of.
But at least you'll die happy.
Right.
Yeah. No, but it's a paid for tour.
You'll be fine.
Tour guide. It's not like you're just showing up at villages.
Hey, give me some mezcal.
Americans showing up at random places in Mexico to say, "Give me some mezcal," will probably lead to a kidnapping.
Maybe.
That's all.
Something bad's not gonna be far from happening.
Thank you guys for sending us this tequila. I will definitely be using this in some tequila cocktails, either here or on the set or on the show, or it'll probably half of it'll be gone from me showing it to people.
Yeah. Probably. So another bar would be okay.
Yeah, and they have a crap load of Twitter followers, so they're doing something right.
Yeah.
More than I do.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything.
Get on it.
Twitter. I suck at Twitter. We're teaching you how to drink. All tequila must be made within Mexico. Not only that, they all have to adhere to some strict standards and guidelines. You may notice Jalisco is listed on pretty much all your bottles. If you look at them, it'll probably say Hencho in Jalisco, Mexico.